Go! Third gear, down into second. Third gear, up into fourth, up into fifth.
One unique feature of the Stuart car design is the high side pods on the car and the large turning vanes, which should reduce the amount of debris that is sucked off the track into the radiator grille during the normal course of a race. This sort of accumulation can actually cause a drop-off between 10 and 20% in the radiator's efficiency.
Go!
When you're driving a Formula One car, you cannot be tense. You're strapped in, you feel every movement, you're part of the car, and if you're tense with the car, it slides that little bit more. You must relax and let the car do the work.
Down into first. Second gear, down into second. If he can keep this kind of speed up, he'll be looking at a good grid position. It's Coulthard. He must have hit the barrier. I'm looking at the qualifying lap times now. That's down on his previous fastest lap over the second sector. New safety rules for the design of the cars this year have meant that the teams have had to include a deformable structure behind the gearbox to protect the driver in the event of rear impact. Ferrari did this last year, and they've already overcome most of the problems, like excessive vibration, which can crack the rear wing. 4th, up into 6th, 6th. Down into 2nd, up into 3rd, 4th gear, up into 5th, 5th gear. He's down at the first split, but faster than his previous best. He's down at intermediate 2, but he's improved on his previous times. Third gear, 4th gear, up into 5th, 6th. Down into 2nd, down into 1st. He's down at the first split, but faster than his previous best. Down into 1st.
Weight is king in a Formula One car. Every extra kilo you have to carry loses you about 200ths of a second per lap. Fuel load, as in the aviation industry, is measured in kilos, not litres, and is precisely calculated to give optimum performance for minimum weight.
Down into 1st. 2nd gear. Down into 2nd. He's down at intermediate 2, but he's improved on his previous times. The drivers in the slowest cars who don't get a time less than 107% of the fastest qualifying time can appeal to the stewards, but it's very unlikely that they'll be successful. Up into 3rd, 4th gear, 4th. If he can keep this kind of speed up, he'll be looking at a good grid position. Let me just check how that time compares. He's down on the leader at split 2, but his time is quicker than his previous best. Down into first, second gear, up into third, fourth gear, fifth.
In a busy qualifying session, a Grand Prix driver has to be really on the limit. He brakes at the last moment, turns in very fast, cannot afford any mistakes whatsoever.
Compared with his previous times, I can see that he's actually slower there. Sixth gear. Down into second. Down into first. Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best second intermediate. Third, fourth gear. Fourth gear. That's the fastest time over the first sector we've seen today. He's down on the leader at split 2, but his time is quicker than his previous best. Up into second, third gear, fourth, up into fifth, sixth gear. He's already behind at split 1 and also down on his own previous best. Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best second intermediate. Up into third gear. That's a McLaren. That was a very heavy collision with the Armco. Let's hope he's all right. I'm looking at the qualifying lap times now. Compared with his previous times, I can see that he's actually slower there. Sixth gear. Unfortunately, he's not as fast as his best second intermediate. A new TAR ruling for 1997 is that the teams have to decide in advance which compound to use for both qualifying and the race. And having done so, they're limited to a maximum of 28 tires. Third gear. Down into second. Down into first. It's Coulthard. He must have hit the barrier. Well, he's got a bit to do over the rest of the lap to improve on his previous times. At split 2, he's a bit behind his best time so far. Fourth. Fifth gear, fifth gear. He's slower than the leading time at split 1, but improving on his own lap times. Sixth. He's improving on his own previous times, but still down on the qualifying leader. Up into sixth. Fifth gear, third gear, down into first. Well, he's got a bit to do over the rest of the lap to improve on his previous times. Well, that's actually slower than his best qualifying lap today.
Each tyre manufacturer supplies two different compounds, a hard one and a soft one. The teams have to decide after the practice sessions which compound they will use for both qualifying and the race. They have to decide whether or not to use soft tyres, which are faster, but may involve having an extra pit stop.
Welcome to the Canadian Grand Prix here in Montreal, at the circuit named after the great Canadian driver, Gilles Villeneuve. You'd never imagine that the circuit here, next to the Olympic rowing basin and the St. Lawrence River, was put together especially for the race each year, apart from the barriers which are close into the track and can catch out the unwary. The chicanes which break up its long straights make this technically quite a tough race, but last year Damon Hill made it look easy by winning from pole position to checkered flag. The Canadian fans had to settle for a second place for their countrymen. The drivers are lined up on the grid now, preparing themselves for the start. The red lights are beginning to come on. Towards turn one they come. He's just hit Verstappen. Superb! He's overtaken Hill. A real shunt between these two. He must have been braking much harder than the car behind. That's taken him past Nakano. Spectacular overtaking there. This is lap 2 of the race. Ouch! And with a sickening crunch, the two cars have come together. He's just hit Frentzen. Beautiful! He's overtaken Panis. I think the two cars may just have touched. The top positions are: first, Michael Schumacher. In second position, Eddie Irvine. Third, Jean Alesi. In fourth, Williams number 1. Hang on, he's just hit Damon Hill. In fifth, Gerhard Berger. In sixth position, Giancarlo Fisichella. I'm looking at the lap times now. That's a bit off the pace set by the race leader. He obviously mistimed his braking and ended up hitting the car in front. Only 3 laps to go. He's lost a place to Nakano. He's dropping back a bit. It's Coulthard. He's hit the barrier. Something must be wrong. He's dropping back. I'm looking at the lap times now. That's a bit off the pace set by the race leader. OK, let's see how the drivers are doing lower down the order. In 17th place, Mika Salo. 16th, Jos Verstappen. In 17th place, David Coulthard. 18th, Mika Salo. We're into the second to last lap. He's got through past Verstappen. That's past Magnussen. He's really charging now. That was almost certainly a collision. Coulthard, he's hit the barrier. Oh no, he's been overtaken by Magnussen. He's collided with Salo. And he's on his last lap now. That's a McLaren. He must have hit the barrier. The top positions are first, Michael Schumacher. Hang on, he's hit Trulli. In second place, Eddie Irvine. Third, Jean Alesi. In fourth position, Gerhard Berger. Fifth, Williams number 1. In sixth position, Giancarlo Fisichella. Coulthard. He must have hit the barrier. Well, that really looked quite nasty there, Martin.
You're right there, Murray.
He's hit Trulli. It's a win for Michael Schumacher. The Tifosi will be absolutely ecstatic with this result for Ferrari. Second, Eddie Irvine. In third place, Jean Alesi. He's hit truly. #21, David Coulthard. He'll be disappointed.